Okay.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Tricia Prasad, and I'm here with my very, very special guest, Mr. Robert Hollis. For those of you who don't know him, I'm going to let him take a couple minutes out and just tell us a little bit about him and about a story and how him and I came to know each other, how we are here together today, right, Robert?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for taking the time to watch this. And I now consider Tricia family. It's just we got a time. Her and my wife got to spend time with her in Las Vegas, and she's just a special individual, or you wouldn't be watching this. So, but one of the very short things about me is I was just an auto mechanic. Grew up in Williston, North Dakota, and just did what I was told to do. You go out there and get good grades. I messed up there. And right away, I had an uncle tell me that I was good with my hands. I fixed bicycles and motorcycles and snowmobiles, and he said, you should be a mechanic. Well, I don't know if you can relate to this, but no one ever told me that I was good at anything. So for him to tell me that I was good with my hands, well, that's where I'm focusing.
Right.
And so I went out, mechanic, what do you do next? You get married, have children, get a dog. I was doing everything I was told to do. And was doing really well. I was doing above average in my mind. And all of a sudden what happened is I was at the wrong place at the wrong time and got hurt. And when I got put on workman's comp, it lasted longer than it was supposed to. And unfortunately, I lost everything. So I don't care how good you are, if you go 9 months without any income, like I did, making $900 a month, I had everything leveraged, everything, my cars, everything. So, the banks just say, I'll take that back. And I was so humbled. And really, honestly, it was a part of my life where my pride got in the way. And I told my girlfriend she'd be better off with somebody else. My son from a previous marriage, I actually sent him home to live with his mother. I was in a bad place. And the reason why is I had lost my identity. I was a mechanic, and now I'm not, and I didn't know what to do. And a friend introduced me to a guy that was expanding a company, and all he said is I wasn't paying attention until he said, this guy makes 62 grand a month. I seen his check. It was attached to the stub. And I was like, I want to meet this guy. And so to be honest with everyone, I would probably even question something illegal at that time. I didn't really care what it was. And I met this mentor that I write about in my book. And, I went from, getting an eviction notice to repo man chasing me around, to living a lifestyle that I could only possibly dream of. In fact, my life in the last 30 years is so far surpassed anything I could dream. And so what I wanted to do is take that same information that my mentor gave me and make sure that I passed it on. One of those mentors was Jim Rohn, and he said, Robert, listen, all you want to do is make sure that when people tell their success stories that your name shows up someplace. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I've been doing now, and been blessed to help a lot of people become successful. I think I got 54 people now that have made over $1 million a year. 9 of them own their own companies in marketing and advertising. Some do over $700 million a year, been in business for 25 years. And just recently, my wife, now an empty nester, we're grandparents, and she all of a sudden got really, really excited about going out there and, saving animals and building animal sanctuaries and stuff like this. And she wanted to be not only independent, but she wanted to make her own money. And so she went out and tried marketing. Everybody thinks it's easy until they're in it. And she went out and struggled. And finally, she came to me and said, Robert, would you help me? And for her to sacrifice 35 years, she doesn't think it's a sacrifice. I say it is. But she's been an incredible mother to 4 boys, me being one of them. And so I decided to help her, and now we got another success story, and it's my wife. So in the midst of that, of me building my online coaching brand and stuff, I met Tricia, and it's just been amazing. She's such an incredible human being, as you guys know. And the thing that's unique about Tricia is that she's just got a heart of gold. She really, truly loves helping people. So she's one of those people that want to find out more ways to help other people. And so when someone does that, and she asked me to jump on here so she could do an interview to tell everybody that we're locking arms together and going to go out and help a lot of people, here I am.
Well, thank you very much. I'm honored, and I actually feel very blessed that I met you and that you've come into my life. You've changed my mindset about the industry, about how to talk to people, just everything. I had dabbled in many businesses along the way, and then I would say, well, I'll just use the product. And I never even would talk to anybody about it. And then I met you, and it just completely changed my approach, my mindset, and it wasn't about me anymore. And that was the biggest thing right there. It's not about me anymore. It was never, and I kept thinking, well, it's about me. But once I got out of my head and into my heart, then I'm able to lead, and I'm running to people and I talk to them all day long. And all I want to do is just like help them and say, come on, follow me. Let's do this. And that's what, brought me to this Zoom today, is because I did a live the other day, and after talking to several people, I see that they're struggling. And I've heard, well, I just don't know how to market. I don't know what to do. I'm overwhelmed. I don't have the time. You know all of those excuses, right?
Sure.
Okay, of course. So, and you've created such a wonderful system. You've been in this industry for over 30 years. Like you said, you've created millionaires. You yourself are a multimillionaire. You yourself have already succeeded. You've been there, done that, and here you are like, come on, guys, just do what I'm doing. Follow in my footsteps. Use me. And all we have to do is just use you. Go on your coattails.
Yeah.
Promote and edify you who've been there, done that. Because in the beginning, I didn't know anything. Who am I?
Right.
I was nobody. I didn't make any money online. I didn't know enough. But what did I do? I didn't, but I know a guy who did, and I'm working with him. I'm working with him. I know him. I know him. It's exciting.
Got pictures together.
Yeah, right. Got pictures. I was excited to say that. But so that's what I really wanted to talk to you about. When people say, I gotta learn this and this and this, that. No, you don't.
You don't.
Stop right now. Okay, it's scary enough to go into business for yourself. All the things you need to do. Don't worry about everything else. Just follow somebody that has got a proven track record, that is documented, and find them in your company. Reach out to them and do what they do.
Yeah. The one analogy that I use all the time in entrepreneurship, in home-based businesses, is that in any other place in the world, we act like we're supposed to. Here's the example. So let's say that you went out into your garage and you're not a mechanic, and you get in your car and you try to start it and it won't start. Then what you do is you call a friend or somebody and you say, listen, my car won't start. What do you know about cars? Nothing. Your next phrase is, well, why don't you come over here and we'll both try to figure it out together, because we're both not mechanics. No.
Right.
You go, who do you know that's a good mechanic? Oh, well, Robert. Well, would you give Robert my number, or can you call him and see if he can come over and see what's wrong with my car? See, we have absolutely no problem. So if I come over and fix the car and then it runs, do you know how many people when I was a mechanic went, oh, thank you so much for getting it running? And I say, awesome. And I go, do you want to know what's wrong? No, you fixed the car. You see what I mean?
Yeah, they're just happy.
And that's it. When people get into marketing, they think they want to know everything. They won't allow someone else to fix it for them. They won't allow someone that's already successful. And in the marketing model that we have, is all I did is when I first got in, that guy that made 62 grand, I'd walk out and tell people the same thing the guy said to me. I met a guy that makes 62 grand a month. He's expanding a company.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know of anyone that would be interested in supplementing or replacing their income? What is this? Why are you interested? Well, it depends on what it is. Well, I'm just an unemployed auto mechanic on workman's comp. You know, I need to introduce you to Bill.
Right.
And I would introduce people to Bill on video. People would watch it and go, oh my God, this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
This makes sense. If it makes sense, it makes dollars.
Exactly.
And then they would go, well, how do you do this? And I go, I just did it. I told you about this guy. I hooked you up with this guy. Can you talk about this guy and hook people up? And see what people do in their whole life is they go, that sounds too simple. Mm-hmm. But do you know how to drive a car? See, that's simple. At one time it wasn't. To people that don't know how to drive, it is not simple. Not even close. Right. There's people that say, I'll never drive. I'll never get my driver's license. And if you say why, and they go, I just don't think I could do that. And you're going, yes, you could, if you made up your mind. And they go, okay, what would be the first step? Go to driving school. Oh, I thought you were going to teach me how to drive. No, I know how to drive. But if you're going to learn how to drive, you should hire somebody that professionally knows how to teach somebody to drive. What a concept. Exactly. So the reason so many people fail in online marketing and home-based businesses is because they do just the opposite. They don't look for anyone to guide them. They don't promote and edify anyone. They try to be the deal, and then they step in and call their friends and family and say, hey, have you heard about this incredible company, incredible product? And they go, I'm not interested. And they go, see, this doesn't work. No, it does work. You're just not doing it correctly. Mm-hmm. You're not doing it in the certain way.
Mm-hmm. You know, even as I'm listening to you, I don't know what is in our human brain, the simplicity of what you just said, and yet people will overcomplicate it. And it's just such a simple, the words, the way you said it, it was just so perfect.
Well, humans do that. Humans do that. We either get inspired to learn to do something, mm-hmm. or we become so desperate that we get rid of our ego and we become coachable. Those are the two things that allow people to do better than what they're doing. Right? Yes. But then there's other people that will just continue duplicating the same bad habits over and over and over again. So I always tell people, and people don't like hearing this, by the way, Tricia, is I say, they go, well, I've tried those. I've tried a number of those companies and it didn't work. And I go, do you know what they all have in common? And they go, what? And I go, you. So,
the feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah. So why wouldn't you take the time to learn how to market? Well, guess what? I tell people all the time, do you want to be a professional marketer? I don't think so. Okay, listen. Would you like to make money by helping people? Mm-hmm. I would. Then learn just to do that. Because there's recruiters for the military, there's recruiters for colleges, there's recruiters for everything. And see, that's their job. Their job saying, listen, you need to come to our university. You need to come to our college. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, why? Well, because other people have graduated from here and now make millions of dollars and own companies. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you'll be going to this college. No, you're not coming over to my house and learning out of my living room. I'm going to get you signed up with them and learn from them. And see, so really good recruiters know exactly what to say. If you were, here's the other one I love using all the time, is if you were hired by Subway Sandwich Shop mm-hmm. to sell franchises, mm-hmm. I would say, Tricia, can I ask you a question? You ever thought about owning your own business?
I have.
Great. Have you heard of Subway?
Yes, I have.
Do you have the ability to raise or get like $250,000?
Ooh, no, not at this time.
Okay, that's fine. Do you know anyone that would like to start their own business that could get $250,000 in financing?
$250,000, probably not.
Okay.
But a lot of people want to start their own business.
Right. And so if I was selling franchises, did you see how fast I sorted you?
Mm-hmm.
Very
Oh,
fast.
I didn't even know you were doing that. Yes.
You don't know anyone, and you can't get the money at this time.
Right.
So then I'm done. But now here's what most people do. If you said, well, Robert, before we talk about Subway, where do they get their pickles from?
Yeah, that wouldn't even really matter.
I don't know where they get their pickles from, but when you buy the franchise, they'll tell you, well, how do you make the sandwiches? I sell businesses. I don't teach how to do sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you do the advertising? They'll teach you that because there's other successful Subway sandwich shops.
Mm-hmm.
So if you decide to do it, they know what they're doing. They're going to teach you. What happens in home-based businesses is I think I got to know where the pickles come from. I think I got to know how to make a sandwich. I think that I got to know how to do the advertising. No, I don't have to know how to do any of that.
Right. So they're, like I was saying earlier, overcomplicating it. Unless you're wanting to be a professional marketer, and some people do, but the average person doesn't. They just want to know the quickest way, show me the money.
Bingo.
Right? Show me the money. How do I do this? I don't want to be a professional marketer.
Well,
how do I do this?
I said, because I was desperate,
Mm-hmm.
I said, Bill, tell me the only things I need to do to generate income. That's all I need to do right now. I don't have time. I'm going to get kicked out of my apartment. I'm going to get my car taken. What do I do? And he says, you've seen my documentation. I said, yes, sir. He goes, can you learn to tell people about me and introduce them to me? I'll do the rest. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, yeah. And he goes, now that you said, yeah, let me challenge you. I said, okay. He said, I made over $10,000 my first month by putting over 70 people in front of the system.
Right.
I just got them in the system. Mm-hmm. And he goes, let's say you're half of me. And I said, I'm not half of anybody. And I said, if I can work 8 hours for a company, I can work 8 hours for myself. And he says, I promise you, if you get 70 people get into this system and get them to watch that first video, mm-hmm. you'll never have to worry about money again. And I went, I'm trained. So I was too desperate to complicate it at that time. Do I think that I would have complicated if I was introduced to the opportunity like 9 months before? Oh yeah, I'm a human being. Mm-hmm. I didn't need the money. I was comfortable. I'd like to make some extra money. So then I would try to be a know-it-all. I try to analyze it. I try to figure it out. I want to know how it works. And Albert Einstein said a statement that I think is one of my favorites. He's going, if you can't explain what you're doing to a 3-year-old or a 3rd grader, if you can't explain what you're doing so that a 3rd grader can understand it, you're overcomplicating it.
Explain it to me like I'm a 3rd grader.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I think that you weren't saying, well, what is it? How do I market myself? How do I do this? How do I do that? He gave you, this is what you do. Don't go left. We talked about Subway. When you have a franchise, you want to be successful in that franchise. Otherwise, you won't. But he's telling you what to do. Don't do this. Don't do that. All you need to do is this. And here
bingo.
we are today.
Yeah, I made $10,000.
Yeah,
I made $10,210 my first 45 days, and made $258,000 my first year. And so, that was 30 years ago. And people keep coming to me all the time. Well, what about? And I'm going like, if you love people and you want to help people, don't you think that you should learn the most basic things that people could do to get results? Because confused people do nothing.
Yes. Yeah. I say that all the time. They get overwhelmed. And you know what? That's why I'm still here with you, because that is exactly how everything in my mind changed. My ego was out of the way because it wasn't about me anymore. It was, how many lives can I change? How many people
Yes.
can I help? How many can I,
Yes.
it's like I got this gift. I got this good news. I wanted just to share.
Yeah, and and like I shared with people that I know that will reach out to you to get information, it's like I can tell somebody about a company and a product all day long,
Right.
and they look at me like I'm a zombie, or maybe I'm lying, or maybe I'm stretching the truth, or maybe I'm trying to take advantage of them. And if I say to them, "Wow, have you seen this Dateline video?" On Dateline on TV, I was blown away when I seen this video, seen this Dateline. Can I send it to you? Yeah. What is it about? I'm not telling you. It'd be like if I were going to take you to a movie. I'm not going to tell you about the movie.
Right.
You and I are going to go to the movie. So can I send you this Dateline video? And they watch Dateline news. And when they get done watching it, they go, how do I get that product?
Yeah.
And you don't have to answer anything.
Mm-hmm.
You go, do you want it at retail or wholesale? Oh, definitely wholesale. Great. Let me send you a link. You can do a free tour. If you have any questions, I can send you a video from my mentor. He'll walk you through the tour. And then what you can do for under $100 is like Costco, $20 membership one time. And then you can get any products that you want at wholesale. Oh, did I tell you? A money back guarantee.
No, wow.
And people are like, sounds simple to me.
Yeah,
Well, if
it
you
is.
do it that way,
Yeah.
then guess what people do?
Mm.
Then they go, hey, Trisha, yeah, have you seen the Dateline video? See, it's like, no. Some people watch the Dateline video and then they go, can I need to tell you what I watched on Dateline. And they blow it. Why? See, why would you want to tell something that you've seen? It'd be like, hey, Trisha, I don't know if you've been to this movie recently, but there's a new documentary coming out about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
No, forget it. You don't need to watch the documentary. Let me tell you what's in it.
Right. Yeah, let me spoil it for you.
I
Spoiler
think I
alert
never even
here.
thought about that. Trisha, thank you for those words. That's what I'm. Hey, listen, I don't want to be a spoiler.
Right.
Spoiler alert. I'm not telling you. You watch the video. And like I tell people all the time, whether you guys believe this or not, movies and TV shows are generated to make income.
No, really?
Okay.
Like millions.
So if
Billions.
you don't watch the whole Dateline, then you don't get advertising dollars. So they're very, very smart in saying, okay, if we want to talk about this company and this product, then what would be the thing that we should cover first? What should we cover next? What should we cover next? What story should we put in it? Because their goal is to make sure that when you get done, you do two things. One is you act. Two, you share it with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this day and age, TV and movies don't make any money without any referrals.
That's right.
So that's where people mess it up. They go, did you see Titanic? Awesome. No, I haven't. You got to go.
Yeah,
In fact, it was so good, I'll go again with you.
exactly.
And so the people that are good at getting excited and putting people in front of the system and letting the system do the work. I love this saying is that people don't duplicate, systems do.
Yes. And our system is that, I know, right? Even it's that duplicatable. It's so simple. A third grader can do it, as you mentioned before. And we got to be, meet in Vegas and meet the owners, which I actually went back down there to the warehouse, and I kind of got to meet other people in there. Just an amazing company, an amazing group of people. So I'm here in Vegas if you ever. Hey, Trish, go do this for me. Sure, I'll go down there and pick it up for you. But so
Cool.
that pretty much covered everything I really wanted to talk about. Like, tell everybody, look, take the pressure off yourself. You don't have to be a professional marketer. If you're in a company that has somebody that is, and it doesn't have to be someone who brought you in or sponsored you, because, oh, this is another thing I wanted to discuss really quick.
Please.
Is on sponsoring. When somebody, and you've taught me this, and you told me this, you don't just bring a ton of people in and blah, 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 blah. What we do is we're not out recruiting, we're sponsoring them, and then we're teaching them, and we're getting them results.
Yes.
You've used that analogy. You hire I got this pizza shop, I want to hire somebody. You put this ad out, you bring them in, you go, okay, see you later. You're on your own. Bye. It doesn't work that way. When somebody has invested some time and they trust you and they have faith in you, and you lead them and you show them, and you get them results, and then get their people results. It's that simple. We are sponsoring. We're just not all about recruiting a bunch of people and hoping, like you said, throw spaghetti on the wall and hope it sticks. It doesn't. This is not the type of industry anymore.
Right. If you're watching this video right now, and you've always wanted somebody that would take you by the hand and allow you to go from baby steps, from step one to step done, then you got to reach out to Trisha. There's you probably can post below, please contact me or whatever, or click on a link here. But you want to reach out to Trisha and allow her to show you the baby steps of what we call point, guide, and direct. And when you see how simple we've made this, because everything in life is, it continues to get easier. It used to be a lot of work to make toast. It's not a lot of work now. So I've heard the phrase, it's like, man, it's better than sliced bread. So it must have been a time when there wasn't sliced bread. Mm-hmm. You get this?
I totally get that. Even just being able to get in our car and go somewhere, that wasn't an option. Picking up a phone, switching on a light switch. Life is getting easier, and this system, that is here for us, that is this easy, and being able to edify and promote you is even better. So I just wanted to thank you. I'm honored to be here with you and have this conversation, because I think a lot of people really do need to hear it.
You bet.
Right.
So make sure to reach out to Trisha. I'm looking forward to helping you in any way that I can. But I know for a fact you could not have a person that wants success for you more than Trisha. So that's why when she asked me to do this interview, I said, when? Yeah, because I just know she's that kind of person. So we're looking forward to working with you. So reach out to Trisha, and she'll take you through the steps, and looking forward to helping you live the life that you know you deserve.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And we will talk to you later. And I appreciate everything you do, Robert. I don't know if I said that enough, but I really do. And everything.
I know you do, and I love you.
I love you too. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.